This episode of Candid with Future Connect is powered by Westpac Corporation. Hello everyone, my name is Yusra. I am a counselor at Future Connect Education and Migration Services. Today, on a brand new episode of Candid with Future Connect, I will be introducing you guys to somebody who has been truly exemplary in all the hats that he has ever worn in life. He is the founder of Halal Expo, also a multicultural community representative, educationist, writer, journalist, and more. I present to you Mr. Hasan. Hello, Mr. Hasan. How are you doing today? First of all, thank you very much for being here and taking out the time because you do so many things. I'm sure you're having busy days all the time.
Thank you for giving me opportunity to explain about myself, what I did,
Yes.
what I've been doing. So I would like to thank particularly the Future Connect and the Westpac Bank for this interview and the discussion we are going to have.
Absolutely. No, it is a pleasure to have you here with us. And, just the first thing that clicks about you as an individual is a person who has mastered the skill of multitasking and multi-management. You have been associated with the multicultural community of Australia for a long while, and you've been hosting major multicultural events in Australia. Why did you think there was a need for you to create this platform, this market for the community living here, expat community specifically?
Actually, what I have experienced from my life, that if you work hard and you have a very honest intention to do something in life,
Yeah.
and people should know you with your services, with the good things to in life, then I believe I have a faith on Allah that He shows you the path, the way, that this is your path, this is your role, where you can explore your intentions, your aim, your objectives, and if you consistently, if you follow that, Allah open the ways and means for you,
Yeah.
and you follow that, and over the period of time, people see you that, oh, he is that person who has started this. By saying that, I never planned when I came into this country
Yeah.
that I'm going to start Halal Expo, or I'm going to organize Chandra Festival, or I will be representing multicultural communities. Even some words and some terminologies are very new for me.
Yeah.
That belongs to Australia particularly.
Yeah.
Multiculturalism, I never knew that much about it because my background is from Pakistan.
Yeah.
And we are living in many respects in a solo community. Like
Yes.
we
With
belong to a particular
like-minded.
faith,
Yeah.
majority,
Yeah.
and particular culture.
Yes.
So when I came here, I have seen people from different part of the world
Yes.
and how they live together here,
In harmony.
harmony
tolerance,
and peace and and unity, and working together, accepting each other. When I see these things, it explores my mind, giving me opportunity that learning about other people and work with them,
Yeah.
and if I could offer them something, and it's all happened. I think I never planned for this,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, then I'll explain to you how I came here and what was my original profession as
Absolutely.
well, and
Yeah.
how I end up with these couple of multiple things here.
Absolutely, that was going to be my next question. That because I wanted to set up a context to really understand who Mr. Hasan is right now and who Mr. Hasan has been back in Pakistan. So I would like you to elaborate a little bit about your life in Pakistan. I would like you to just reflect a little bit on your childhood memories, maybe what was the environment like at home that you grew up in, and then how did you decide or how did it come about that you're going to be moving to a foreign land, that too being Australia, and your experiences there?
Actually, my full name is Sayyid Atik Hasan.
Yes.
My father's name is Sayyid Shafiqul Hasan. He expired in 2007. I was born in Hyderabad, Sindh, Pakistan. The people who don't know much about Pakistan, this is a city about 100 miles from Karachi. Karachi is
Yeah.
a well-known mega city in the world. So it's about 100 miles from there
Yeah.
in the province of Sindh. I was born there uh, in a family who migrated in 1947 from India to
From
Pakistan.
India. Yeah.
So my grandfather migrated with his children,
Yeah.
8 children, five son and 3 sisters
Three.
and 3 daughters, and my father was the eldest. So when they came and they started their life from the scratch,
Yeah.
my father was teacher, and my mother was teacher. They started a primary school for boys and girls in 60s, and
And they started this primary school in Hyderabad.
in Hyderabad.
So back then, look, I don't know much about the 60s, but from what I've heard, the education industry in Pakistan was still developing. We were so there were a few schools that we would call missionary schools. I was from one of them, so I know what the culture there was like. Christian nuns, Parsis, who were very like they were setting up the foundations of our educational system, and then there were schools emerging based on that system. So
Actually, my father and mother started because at that time in 60s,
yeah,
Pakistan was laying the foundation in many areas, particularly
yes,
in education.
yes,
And I belong to a family who came from India
yeah,
to Pakistan,
yeah,
and they had to go through lay down the foundation of their family and stand up in the
start
culture
from
and all those
scratch.
things. So they focused. My father focused more on education, and that was the only opportunity for them to do something, being an educated people. Even though my grandfather was in the government job, he was a police officer
Yeah,
in India,
yeah,
and he migrated. He was a police officer and retired in 1948. So they went through a very hard time with poverty, because my grandfather was retired and they didn't have anything, so they had to do
so
something. So they started this school.
yeah,
So I opened my eyes. I was born there, and I see
yeah,
my mother and father was teaching and all.
yeah,
They are very patriotic Pakistanis at that time. There was uh, different type of public events
yeah,
and events in the schools on Pakistan Day, and
yeah.
um, uh, educate people and children about Pakistan, how the partition happened, and all those things. These are the activities. So when I opened eyes, I have seen when I was very young, like kids 4 5 years old. I used to go with my mother, and they were organizing the Pakistan Day function and prepare kids to go on stage and
Yeah,
you know
14 August,
sing. Yes,
yeah,
yeah, and sing the Pakistan Day songs and all. And I still remember me and my younger brother my mother prepared me and my brother to sing यूं दिया मैं आज़ादी के दुनिया हुई हैरान कायद आज़म तेरा एहसान है
Tera
एहसान
Ehsan.
Mehdi Hasan's very famous
Ye Watan Tumhara Hai.
national songs,
Yeah,
अपनी अपनी जान नजरे करूं अपनी वफा पेश करूं.
yeah,
So this was the culture, and I think so that induced in my body, I think in my blood about the Pakistan and do something for the people and the whole entire culture at that time, the people at that time, or building up the cities and things like that, and themselves as well. So I being to this process, education was our only tool, doing the hard work and get something. So I have seen my uncles and aunties, they were studying and doing hard work, finding a job and all. So most of my family members went to the education. They were
yeah,
teachers.
yeah,
My aunties, my uncle, and also in the media. My father was a teacher. Beside that, he was a writer. He was a poet. He was a journalist. He used to write for various papers, and a social worker. The area where I was born, that's a colony, is called Sarfraz Colony. My grandfather put the name of that colony and developed that colony. And then my father spent whole his life to build that colony, legalize that colony and all. So I've been through this process. I've seen how they help the people and bring
Actually,
up the
that
people.
was what my next question would have been, because you mentioned that you were living with your grandparents and your grandparents had actually witnessed partition
Yeah.
and moved. I think it is a very important factor, because I was drawing a parallel with my life, because I'm from Pakistan as well. But my I think my grandparents' parents had migrated. My grandparents were already born, but they had migrated with them. They never shared their, like, I've never heard stories about migration, like wholesome, rich, first-hand stories about migration at home. And I believe it really makes a big impact on how you connect with the country, with
Yeah,
your country.
actually, I didn't see my grandfather because he was died when I was 3 years old.
Yeah,
I heard stories about him from my father.
yeah,
But that was inspiring stories how they left the country for Pakistan
yeah,
and how they build up themselves
yeah,
in new society, new culture, and how they work for Pakistan to
Yeah.
become a strong country. So my schooling, my college time, and was in Hyderabad, and I did my master from Sindh University. I did my honors in physics and mathematics. I was the gold medalist
yeah,
in physics and mathematics. I was top in science faculty. Then I did a top in master in computer technology. At that time, that was 1977, 78.
That was a relatively new field at that time.
Just what
Not
I was
many
saying.
people-
Yeah, we were the first batch who had done the master in, because the IT started in the university, a new department. So we
Yeah.
were the first one. So we didn't know much about the IT at that time, even
Yeah.
though we had a master degree, and then we had to learn practically a few months to get into the job.
Absolutely.
So that was the life I started. 1978, I finished my master in computer technology,
Yeah,
and I found a job for Karachi Porters in Karachi in 1980
yeah,
as an analyst programmer.
yeah,
So IT was my profession, the first profession. Because in my family, I was the only one in IT, and IT was the new field.
yeah,
Everyone else was in media or in education.
yeah,
So from the family, I have seen and I've learned, I experienced about the media, about the teaching, about the public service, about the social services. And in my profession, because I did my degree in IT, so I was in IT. But I couldn't resist to do something in media as well.
yeah,
So same time, which is very hardly have seen people working in IT and writing columns on political and social issues,
yeah,
which I was doing that because that's my, I would say, a natural instinct from my parents.
yeah,
So, and that's actually made me a multi-professional type of person. And because the way I grown up, I think I have seen the poverty, I have seen the struggle of my parents,
yes,
and I have seen that what was the things can make us to survive in the society is education.
yes,
So my parents and my aunties and everyone focus on study.
yeah,
So I started my job in computing for IT Karachi Porters, which is the very largest. Is one of the largest organization in Pakistan that's under semi-government. So I passed on merit and I came, and I was the youngest. In Pakistan they have a grade first, grade second officers. It starts with grade 17.
yes,
So I was the youngest grade 17 officer in Karachi Porters when I was 22 years old.
yeah,
Came on merit as a analyst programmer.
yeah,
And at that time, the technology was the third generation technology we had used, which is IBM oriented or ICL or COBOL and all, which is left now. It's no more in the world. And so I've been through that, and I worked and part time. I used to write columns. I used to look after the society and all. I was taking interest in officers association, organizing events and
Yeah.
all those things. And that different type of work made me multi-skilled person.
yeah,
So I worked from 80 to 89 for Karachi Porters in IT,
yes,
performed in various roles in IT. And during that time, because IT was a new field, they wanted to start a new crash course for their employees. They had around 350 at that time
Yeah.
officers to educate them about the IT.
At work training.
So I designed the orientational course for IT for their staff.
Yeah.
And at the staff college of Karachi for Karachi protest, I started series of IT orientation lectures.
Yeah.
So that actually gave me opportunity for
To
teaching as well.
Yeah, and inculcate education into your
Yeah.
one of the many hats
That's
that
right.
you wear.
Yeah.
So now, my question now would be that from what I can gather, you come from a very, very patriotic family, doing everything for Pakistan, serving in Pakistan, becoming whoever they are in Pakistan. How did you come about to move to Australia, and what kind of challenges did you face?
Look,
when you initially made that
honestly
decision?
speaking, it looks like very maybe unbelievable story, but that's the fact. I never planned in my life to come to Australia, until one of my professional colleague, he was working for the custom department, which is next building to KPT. He said to me that Australia is offering migration to IT professionals.
And this was in the 90s?
That was in 1988.
1988.
So why don't we go to Australia? And I never impressed about Australia. The only thing from which I was inspired was cricket. I used to play cricket.
Cricket is
like
big
every,
in Pakistan.
Every Pakistani. So I knew only the cricket players' names, and we used to hear the story or the commentary on the radio. So I said, what we are going to do in Australia? They play cricket, and maybe I had an impression that this is a purely farming country and countryside and all. I didn't know anything about Australia, honestly. So he said, let's go and see, maybe we can get some more new opportunity to learn new thing in IT. Anyway, they are advanced than me in Pakistan at that time. So I didn't apply. He brought a form for me because he lived in Peshawar. So when he went to Peshawar, he came back and he bring 2 forms for migration to Australia, and I kept in my briefcase and several months, and then I applied. So cutting the story short, I just applied without any plan, like the way in Pakistan people do.
Yeah.
So and then and I forgot because I never had a plan, because I was promoted. I was in grade 18. I had all the the luxurious facilities of to the officers and all. So I was given the car, and I had my own house and all those given by KPT. So there was no issue of moving. And as I said, my father was very patriotic, and he was very much against people going abroad and serving their complete study in Pakistan and then they go abroad. He didn't like that. So I didn't. So anyway, I applied. I didn't tell to my father that we applied. I applied. It was just up to me and my wife. And she also didn't know about Australia, so she didn't care about what I was doing. But after several months, I received a call from them that I had to go for an interview, and they are coming from Islamabad. So the interview happened, and the interview was with my family, my wife. I had 2 children at that time. My son was 6 years old. My daughter was 3 years old.
Relatively very young.
Very young couple. So we went to the interview, and there was a translator as well. And there was a immigration officer or section officer, whoever, that was in hotel in Karachi. So he asked me, why do you want to go to Australia? I said, look, my friend asked me to go, and I thought maybe if we go, we can get, it might be an opportunity to learn more about my IT profession. Maybe we get some gain, and I'll see. So he said, so if you don't like Australia, so I said, then I will come back. So he said, you don't have any plan to leave over there? So I said, look, at the moment, I'm not. And that was the truth. So then he asked to my wife, are you happy to go to Australia? And she said, yes, because my husband wants to go. So she said, but what your own choice? And she said, look, in our culture, you have to follow husband. So if he wants to go, and I understand that he thought about that, yeah. So anyway, and I came here. I didn't know anyone. I'm the only one from my family who came Australia, and I don't know anyone here. So I landed at the airport in Sydney Airport. This was in 1989 in October, and I came out and I made a plan to go an area where there would be a mosque or something, and Muslims living there. So I know and it's a better place to live with for the family. So I asked the taxi driver, do you know any big mosque around here? So he's looking at me. So he said, wherever you want to go. This is a taxi driver at the airport. So I said, I just want to go wherever the big mosque is. So he said to me, आप पाकिस्तान से हैं? तो मैंने कहा हाँ जी. तो कह रहा है मैं भी पाकिस्तान से हूँ. तो आपको जाना कहाँ है वैसे? तो मैंने कहा look, I came here, I myself, but I don't know anyone in Australia. तो मैं सोचता हूँ कि अगर मैं किसी मॉस्क के करीब कहीं मैं एक जगह देखूँ और वहाँ फिर मैं रहूँ और फिर मैं कुछ देखूँ कौन सी जगह मेरे लिए सूट करती है. मेरी फैमिली भी ड्यू है आने के लिए. मैं उनके वाइफ के बच्चों के वीज़े
alone first. Okay.
With the preparation, and they had all the tickets and everything. So I said, okay, I go first and see.
Settle
And
down
when I
and call you guys.
if I find the job, then you people can come.
Yeah.
तो उसने फिर वो पाकिस्तानी लड़का था. उसने कहा चले मैं लेके चलता हूँ. तो वो फिर मुझे यहाँ लकिम्बा में वांची रोड के ऊपर एक बड़ी मॉस्क है जो लेबनी. उसने कहा ये है मॉस्क सबसे बड़ी यहाँ पर. तो उस वक्त डिफरेंट हालात थे 89 में, अबाउट 32 years ago. And then I said, okay, drop me here. So he said, but कहाँ जाएंगे आप? मैंने कहा मैं पूछ लूँगा किसी से ना. तो कहता आप अभी ठहरें 1 मिनट. तो मैंने कहाँ जा रहा हूँ? कहना आप 2 मिनट दें. वो बैठ के मुझे नेक्स्ट स्ट्रीट में ले गया. तो कह रहा यहाँ मैं रहता हूँ. तो मैंने कहा अच्छा दैट्स गुड. तो वो मेरा सामान निकालने लगा. तो मैंने कहा कि why are you taking he said now it's my responsibility. You are from my country, you are from Karachi, I'm from Karachi, so now I have to take care of you. You stay at my place for a few days. We are 4 or 5 boys living together. We all are from Pakistan. So that's how I ended up in here, and I was living with them. So I stayed about a week. Then I found a house in same Lakimba, and I called my family. They came, and we started life.
So how did it feel like then, because, when we move from our own home country, it's a very emotional,
exactly.
It's a very emotional process. Leaving your family behind, leaving your friends behind, and for you, leaving a well-settled life behind, being the sole bread earner of the family, it's huge responsibility. There a lot of people must be saying at that time, because situation in Pakistan was much better back then. Why are you leaving everything? Why will you go to Australia? How did you deal with all those challenges?
I can say many things, but the truth is, honestly, I think Allah made everything for the person. The only thing is your good intention. As I said to you, I never planned for Australia. How I ended up, it looks like it just made up for me.
Yeah.
And that courage, a decision to make to go in a new country, no one no one. And then the way the things happen, I landed up here knowing nothing. And it's a true story. And then I found someone, a taxi driver from my city. So I think it's all made up in my life.
It all falls into place.
And Allah wanted to give me some opportunity here, and wanted me to do these things which I have been doing since I came here. So when I came in Australia, I was 29 years old, and I've been living here for 32 years. So I spent most of my life in Australia, which I never planned. So when my family came, so we planned to live here 2 years, get the nationality, and we go back. So because we never planned, and then we couldn't go back, and then I found when I meet with the people, I never meet the Indians before, and I met one of my colleagues. He was from India. He was in IT. The first job, second week I got the job for New South Wales Police Services. In the same role which I was doing in Karachi Port Trust as an analyst programmer. And my colleague was Indian, so I met first time with him. He made first time with Pakistani. So we scared to speak to each other with a lot of reservation of political background,
Yes.
Then we found that we don't have any difference, like the way
We're so
we
similar.
speak and
Yeah.
all those things. So this was the first experience meeting with a person belong to a country which we have a rivalry with India and Pakistan.
Yeah.
So that changed my thinking about people.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then I met one person from Sri Lanka, then I met Lebanese, then I met all people in Bengalis and all in Lakemba. So that gave me a lot of understanding about people, and I realized that the common people from any part of the world are same.
Yeah, it really shifts your focus, because when you're in your home country, because ek to Pakistan is a Muslim majority area, and then our minorities are like, our minority culture is not that strongly represented.
Secondly, we don't have opportunity to have exposure on
Of
the people from
multicultural.
other faith.
Yes.
I mean, in Pakistan, how many people have chance to meet with people from other faith? Where we live, 99% or maybe more are just Muslims, and
Yeah.
we have the same culture.
Yeah.
So we are wherever we live,
Yeah.
we are a singular society. Like if
Yes.
you live in Karachi,
Yeah.
all the people have same culture.
Yeah.
Even if you go in Punjab, people have a same culture, same language.
Yes.
If you go in northern side of Pakistan, people have a same language and same culture.
Yeah.
So even though we have different culture in Pakistan and languages, but in that particular province or area or city, people have a same culture, a same type
Absolutely.
of people.
Yes.
But when you came here, and if you are a person of a big vision, or a person who have seen a struggle and trying to do something because for your family, for yourself, and if you are a hard-working nature, then obviously you find Australia as a country of opportunity.
So, Mr. Hasan, you mentioned about struggles, right? I would like you to elaborate a little bit upon what kind of struggles were they? Because, like, if you imagine yourself through a lens of somebody who's sitting back in Pakistan, or who's sitting back in their native country, and when they look at expats, they think, oh my God, look at them. They're living the life. They're earning in dollars. They have access to all the best education here. They have access to the best kind of jobs. But it's really difficult to understand what kind of struggles, grievances, problems.
I think it
expats go
depends
through.
upon your vision.
Yeah.
How big vision you have, and how you brought up in your family.
Yeah.
What you have seen in your family,
Yeah.
and that the needs, the aim, and the requirements of the family
Yeah.
to pass your daily life,
Yeah.
and their requirements,
Yeah.
that make you a hardworking person.
Yeah.
I won't claim that from the very beginning I was a hardworking person, but I have responsibility, a self-responsibility, to do something to help my parents, to do education,
Yeah.
with a remarkably, exceptionally well level,
Yeah.
so I can get a job. There was the first thing.
Yeah.
At that time, that was the goal,
Yeah.
to get education, get a good job,
Yeah.
so I can be in a good living situation, and also I can help my family as well.
Yeah.
At that time, this was the thing. For that, to achieve that, you have to do hard work.
Yes.
So I think when you have a vision, and if your parents have a vision about how to have a better life for yourself, for your family, and because when I was very young, I got married, and which I didn't like that time to be married, but in our culture, I'm the eldest one, and the parents are always very keen to have a
Yes.
eldest one got married so they can see their children, family life and all.
Yeah.
So I got married when I was 22, and I got my son when I was 23. At that time, I thought it's too much responsibility for me. I was young. I was playing cricket. I was going with the boys and all my friends, they were all single. But later on, that becomes a plus point, because I learned at that time how to live a family life,
Yeah.
then the family responsibility.
Yeah.
And so I think back to the question that all over the period of time, it looks like other people that that person is a very hard working person, a person taking ready to take the challenges and all those things. But it all happens because you feel the responsibility
Yeah.
to do something and make yourself uh, acknowledgeable to the people,
Yeah.
and get respect. So this is all come up, and so whatever opportunity was available to me, whatever came in my mind, I just do it. And when I do it, Allah supported me. When the things got successful, I got more passion to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I can give you an example about Chandra Festival.
Yes.
Me and my wife started just without any plan. We had a Chandra. We invited few family friends together in Lakemba,
Yeah.
and we had around 200 people,
Yeah.
mostly family friends
Yeah.
from different communities. There was Indian, there was Sikh, and all those things. So because we had in our mind that how the Chandra we used to do
Celebrating
in Pakistan,
yeah.
and back 30 years ago there was not many Pakistanis or Indians here.
Yeah.
Very few. You can see the Indian faces, Pakistani faces, and that was 200 people came together. We enjoyed, and we forgot. Next year, before Ramadan, our family friends called us and said, "Do you want to continue that?" That was the fun. Last time you had, we started again.
So I'll tell you this about the Chandrat festival, right? I'm from Pakistan. I've just recently moved. It's not been a long while. It's so funny. I've heard about this festival back in Pakistan as well, because expats, specifically students who have been living here for some time, they've always, and even when I came here, everybody was like, you should go to that festival. It happens at Rouse Hill, so just definitely go, definitely attend it. Did you ever imagine? Because the timeline that we're talking about is, I think, a period of 30 years,
Yeah,
right?
30,
from now to
Yeah.
to all the way back when you started. Did you ever imagine back in 30 years that this Chandrat festival would
Never.
grow up to be
Never,
something that
never,
it is now?
Never. As I said initially, in the start, that if you have good intention or doing good things,
Yeah.
not a particular you mark particular thing you have to do.
Yeah.
If you have a good intention to serve the people and get a respect from the people, then Allah give you a role to play.
Yeah.
And it's a role to play. I mean, in my family, no one has ever thought about Chandra. And we never thought about
Yeah.
that. We never thought about this. We are going to organize a function, and in 20 years' time, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
So we will. Who planned for 20 years? The only reason is we keep continuing doing it consistently. Of course, there is a extraordinary passion required. You can imagine, Chandras happened 22 years now. 22 years.
Yeah.
In the last 22 years, me, my wife, and my family never celebrated Eid.
Yeah, because you were
Because
so
we
engrossed in the-
always busy on Chandra.
Yeah.
Next day is the Eid. We never celebrated with our family friends and all. Our close family friend life finished because we are so much involved with the people. So this is the sacrifice, but I don't say sacrifice. It's a unique experience we get, and unique respect we earn. And we started a small event over the period of time. There was a time when people say, when we used to say people that we are the one who organized Eid festival.
Yeah, can you please come to it?
But
attend
now,
it?
now Chand Raat actually give us identity.
Yeah.
Now the people saying they are the one who organized Chand Raat.
Yeah.
So if you are consistently work with your passion and commitments,
Yeah.
there's no shortcut in life.
Yeah.
You have to spoil your life, your good time of your life.
You have to sacrifice something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and that was our choice. If we sacrificed Eid festivity and all, Eid hangama and all
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things,
yeah.
but on the other day, we have a respect in the society, in the government, in the premier ministers comes, and people are known. We are known to the people that they are the people. So respect. Otherwise, if we made millions of dollars, we can't get that respect from the people which we respect, which we get respect from the people by delivering these type of project like Halal Expo.
Yeah.
It came to my mind, because when I came to Australia, we had a problem with finding halal food.
Yeah.
And during this back 6-7 years ago, I was invited as a speaker in one of the halal exhibition in Malaysia. So I went there and I had my lecture there and I learned and I have seen that what is this halal exhibition is.
Yeah.
So first thing came my mind that I should do in Australia.
Yeah.
So opportunities come if you have a good intention and passion. The only thing is you have to spoil yourself into that and have a extreme level of passion and you continue doing that and you enjoy.
So you talk a lot about sacrifice and enjoyment. Like there's a process where there is give and take. Again, drawing a parallel with somebody from like a millennial like me or like the Gen Z who are born in like 1998, 2000s, there has been a significant shift in the mindset, right? Our struggles are different, right? But a significant shift in what you call hard work. Would you like to expand upon that and create a parallel with that?
Look, the society and culture changes with the time.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready for that. When we came in Australia in 1989, I have seen the full transformation of the ethnic communities. The society have changed. Young people, the kids grown up now, they are married now. So the way of thinking and all changes.
Has changed,
So
yes.
this is what the culture of this world is all about. When I go back to Pakistan, it looks to me that is not the country which I left.
That you left, yes.
Because even if my family member when I speak to them, they have a very different view of many things of life. I have different standards, but this is what the life is all about. This is what the society is all about. This is what the world is all about. If you go back 100 years ago, the life of the people were different then. So every few decades, the culture changes. So whatever is happening today, obviously it was not like 30 years ago. But we can't say that now it is wrong, that time it was right. You have to accept it. So this is what it is. I think the community, the ethnic communities have grown up a lot. Pakistani community have grown up, Bangladeshi, Afghani, Indian, all they grown up. And the individual ethnic communities which I have seen in individual way now become a multicultural communities.
Yeah.
Now you can see people are living together here, very easily accommodate all type of ethnic the ethnic requirements, like food and everything, and praying facilities and all. It's all available now here.
Yeah.
So Australia, I have seen Australia has changed in the last 30 years. And it became really a true multicultural country.
So tell me, what do you think was except for the Chandra Festival that you've done that has massively grown over the time period in Halal Expo, what has the role of various communities also been in because see, it's a two-way thing. You incorporate somebody's culture and somebody incorporates a part of your culture.
Look, I believe if you want that people should respect you, respect your belief, respect your culture, then you have to open yourself for them. You have to open your faith and culture to them. You have to tell them, people don't come to you and see what you do in the mosque. You have to tell them, you come in our mosque and see what we do.
Were you never hesitant of all the stereotypical things that we hear about?
I had a resistance from some people who are very conservative in mind. They don't want to get out from their own faith and culture and want to mix with the other people. It's all a matter of their vision. But I believe people respect you and your culture and your faith if you first believe their culture and respect. So if you go in there, go involve in them, appreciate them, then you invite them. Like Chandra, why the Chandra is so popular in it? I mean, for me, 20 years is not enough, as the Chandra is very popular. I could celebrate Chandra only inviting Pakistanis. I could never make it more bigger than 500 people. That's it. Chandra is now 20,000 people coming because if you come and see, you find the faces from every people from every background, not only Muslim. Even though more non-Muslims are attending now, like for example, Indian and Pakistani back in Pakistan have some political issues and all, rivalry and all. But if you come in Chandra, we have more Indian stalls and Bangladeshi stalls and Afghani stalls. The reason is I actually design and open this event for everyone. When someone book a stall, we never ask them any question about what's your background.
Yeah.
When we invite people, we invite everyone. We never write this is a Pakistani event. It's a multicultural event. So we have to open ourselves. We open the event for everyone practically. I mean, people claim there are Eid festivals. Now the people use this as a slogan that this is a multicultural event. But if you go there, honestly, which people don't like when I say this, if you go there, you find this is the Lebanese event. Because everything is in Arabic, everything is whatever happening in whatever the Lebanese do. If you go in another Eid festival, you see that, oh, this is a Turkish
there's
festival.
No sense of
but they say
sense of belonging.
They say multicultural. Multicultural means the involvement and participation of the people of different background coming together and celebrate your event. Now, isn't that amazing that people from different faith who by faith don't celebrate Eid, but they participate in your event because the organizers have made this event open for everything. And how do you do that? The only you can do that if you have in the festival those type of activities which not only attract Pakistani or Muslim, but attract to the other people as well. So we have performances. But when we started, some people have objection about why you have a music there, why you have Indian there, why you have Bangladeshi there and all. We didn't care. Now you see we have performances from Turkish community, from Indian community, from Bangladeshi community and all. They are the stakeholder of this event. And that's why the people openly come, they see that we go there, they know about Chandra. They don't know, even that many people don't know I'm from Pakistan. Or I don't need to tell them. And I claim this I am a person, ambassador of a multicultural society. Because I find that if I work in a multicultural society level and claim myself and be a representative of a multicultural society, I'll get more opportunity to be a bigger rather than just a Pakistani.
Okay, so tell me one thing. I've just heard this from friends and family, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But since the last 2 years, because of COVID, you haven't been able to really have this.
There was no big event, yes.
Yes, to the scale that it has been. Was there any particular feedback from people saying that there was a need?
People were very desperate. They keep calling, but people understand. This is in Australia. This is the good thing that people are well educated, well conversant to understand, and everyone knows around the world that you have to deal with the COVID pandemic. So not only our event, all the events were cancelled, lockdowns and all, and we have to accept this. So, but people never complain because they know nothing is happening, and people deal very understandably, and they will just keep quiet, sitting and see when the things get settled down, and pandemic, pressure and lockdowns and all go away. Obviously, there will be a Chandra, and that's what we said on Chandra's website. Then, right now, in the last 2 years, we announced that because of the COVID and lockdown, we cannot hold the event. When the things are getting better, the government allow the large events, then we will hold it. So we and people happily accept this, but desperately they are waiting. But the thing is, I'll tell you now, after this, we are doing it, we are in the planning and preparation of delivering another Chandra. But because of the bad weather and continuous rain and this, and that is another issue nowadays going on. Because the venue is damaged because of the rain. So it's in limbo now, and we are dealing with the situation whether we can cope it or not.
There are always going to be different set of challenges.
Exactly.
I would like to move this interview to a more personalized, more sentimental version of this conversation now. And during your journey here in Australia, and also during your journey in life, what was that point where you had been at your lowest, and what was your beacon of hope during that time period?
Look, I have the very sad moments in my life
Yeah,
being in Australia.
yeah,
My mother died, and there was an accident. She fallen over from the second floor, and I was very close, like everyone else, with my
with their
mother.
moms. Yeah,
I couldn't go in Pakistan, and that was a big loss, which I realized that was the loss. I never planned for that before when leaving Australia, Pakistan. And then very close to my father, we used to do. I used to call him on my radio show.
yeah,
Other than that, I am also involved in the local media as well. I
yeah,
have a English multicultural newspaper, Multicultural, which I started in '97. I used to call him on the radio show, so we were professionally friends. We
yeah,
have a debate on political things. And he died in 2007,
yeah,
and at that time I couldn't go there. So these are the the losses unrecoverable, which obviously I could not actually um, recover, my mind to cope with this sad
yeah. Because you'll keep on
things
thinking,
happen.
yeah, I wish I was there. I wish I could have done this. I could have
Exactly.
done that
It happens.
differently.
I mean, see, in life, you have to uh, accept that you will lose something and you will gain something.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's beyond your control.
yeah,
So, and I am one of those people. I lost my parents and all, but obviously everyone has got time to go. But then it's very hard to accept, when your mother and all. But this is the case for everyone.
yeah,
And I don't know, I have a very strong faith. And I believe that happened because I was very close to my mother. I could not accept if it happened in front of me that how she was uh, in the accident and all, and how she been through 8 hours and expired.
yeah.
Because I was away, maybe that was the reason
Yeah.
the God
So you
made me
consider
away.
it
I
as
couldn't
a,
see
yeah,
her and all. And then back in 2018, um, until 2018, I was claiming that I'm those lucky people who never got sick. I never been to hospital for any reason. Nothing. Never.
yeah,
Never I could not take a antiviral or anything, uh, amoxicillin or something like that,
yeah, yeah,
because I never sick. But then suddenly in 2018, I was having some problems. Lost my weight and all those things. So I ended up diagnosed a cancer, and spleen cancer, and I was surprised. First, when I was in hospital under investigation, I never thought about these type of
Were
things
you
could
were you
happen to
in
me.
denial? Because that's the first thing that patients go through,
I
denial.
mean, when I was under investigation, why I was losing my weight and
Yeah,
weak and all those things, and the tests were done, and there was nothing sign of any cancer or anything, and I couldn't think about cancer because in my family and all, no one
there's no
ever had
history.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then doctor said to my son that he has got problem. He's got lymphoma, and if you want, you can tell him. And my son said, okay, just I will tell him. And I was keep saying that I just want to go home because I'm okay.
yeah,
And then eventually, my son said, you don't know what happened to you. I said, what happened to you? And my son said, you have a lymphoma. And even I don't know what lymphoma is.
yeah,
I said, what is that? He said, it's a kind of a cancer you had in your spleen.
yeah,
So and then I was quiet.
yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. Then I never complained.
Did you ever, in that moment after you found out, because this happens to a lot of people, that you think, reflect on your life and really reflect on what good you've caused the society?
Look, I don't want to appreciate myself. I don't want to praise myself.
Yeah,
But when they told me, I was quiet. And I talked to Allah. I said, Allah, if this is given me, this is, if you have given me this, there must be a reason.
Yeah.
If this could be the reason of me to go from this world, that's fine. Because I have enjoyed my life. I don't deserve many things which you gave me. I belong to a average family. I was born in a small city.
Yeah.
I've seen the world. I've been in America. I've been in England, in Middle East and all. When I came here, I went to doing contracting. I met with top politicians. I interviewed them, prime ministers and all those things. So I have seen what I never thought in my life, and you have given me.
Yeah.
But now, if this is the way, and this disease, infection which I have now, if this could end up with taking my life, I'm okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or if you are testing me for something, maybe it's a good experience for me. I'm all right. So I never complain.
Yeah.
So one day, the doctor, because I was there about 2.5 years,
Yeah.
the doctor, her name, I must say her name as well,
Sure.
because I appreciate, she was a fantastic person, a human being I ever seen. Her name is Jennifer Carno. She said to me, she was always ask me and saying, how are you going? And I smiled, I said, I'm okay. But there was a pain and all those things. But the good thing I realized that because of my media activities, whenever I feel pain or something, I open my laptop and I'm writing articles. And I continuously, during when I had a treatment, I was regularly writing for Young Group and weekly column.
Yeah.
Some people never realize I'm in a hospital. So that good thing happened because of the media and all these things, engagements.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm all right. So she used to see I have a laptop and I'm working. And when I explained to her what I was doing, and she said, one day she said to me, how are you going? I said, yeah, I'm all right. She was laughing. He said, you know what we call you in our meeting, in our board meeting? I said, what? You are our star patient. And what do you mean star patient?
Yeah.
Because not me, other specialists, because there were 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Because I had multiple cancer in the brain as well.
Yeah, this is a
so there was a brain specialist, there was a liver specialist and all.
Yeah.
They said, we have every Wednesday meeting about you. You are a test case as well, because a multiple problem you have.
Yeah.
And we said, this is the common views that this patient never complained. He never cried.
Yeah.
Because I said, because I believe this is all Allah's will.
Yeah.
So whatever is happened to happen. And she said that, look, in the cancer patient, the key factor of recovering is your mental strength.
Yes.
Rather than
Absolutely.
your treatment.
Yeah.
Because the people, when they hear about cancer, they give their life away. They say, oh, we are going to die now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your mental strengthness, which comes from your faith.
Yeah.
So, and that the whole episode of cancer make my faith more strong as well.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, I'm okay now, coming back.
How has your recovery journey really changed your perspective about life now? Has it caused much change?
I think it's more strong faith now.
Yeah.
And I don't scare anything about. I never had anyway. I was a lucky person. I never had any big disease except this.
Yeah.
But this was the severe one.
Yeah.
तो अब किसी चीज़ पर मतलब अब कौन सी बीमारी होगी इसके अलावा? This is the most dangerous thing, and life could go. तो मुझे कोई I don't feel any scareness or anything or any fearness or things like that.
Is there something that you could advise to expats from South Asia, not just Pakistan, South Asia, or even not even South Asia, various nationalities who come to Australia?
For the young people, youth, especially the students,
Yeah.
I would advise them that there is no shortcut in life.
Yeah.
Your consistent work, your commitment to yourself, not to anyone else, yourself. If you ask any student, he would say or she would say, I want to be a business entrepreneur, I want to be on the top level or in the management and CEO and all those things. You can dream whatever you want.
Yeah.
But are you ready to take that challenge and consistently keep your goal, which require your consistent hard work? Sometime in your journey, you will feel that things not happening, even though you are doing hard work. But that's your test. Because everyone believes God in one and another form. You have to believe that the time will come and there is a cost you have to pay. If you go and get admission, you have to pay money.
Yep.
It's not free.
Yeah.
So if you don't pay the cost of the fee of the course, you won't get it.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a doctor or if you want to be an entrepreneur, there is a cost.
Yeah.
Cost not in terms of dollar. Cost in terms of how much time you have to spend, what level of efforts you have to do. So if you pay that cost, you might not realize how much cost is. But whatever is coming along, you have to do it with very sincerity. If you are in a half here and half there, doing some type of work, and you claim that I have done this, I am doing hard work, but you are not paying the actual cost. So if you pay the actual cost, which includes your commitment with yourself, whatever you do, with your dedication, with your vision that why you are doing this, and consistently if you stick to these things, then obviously one day there will be a time where you feel frustrated, things not happening, things will happen. Because that is not the time when you are thinking that why I was failed, why I have to do this, why I'm not getting the job, why I never planned that I will be having so hard time. If you have that type of negativity, which means some negative forces or evil forces, become hazards for you, that you give up. But if you overcome onto that look, I have to do that, then you don't feel that this is a hard work or something extraordinary things I have to do, I can't do that. If you feel that, then it's you can't achieve that. But whatever is coming, you have to dedicatedly just keep doing work. And obviously, nothing is easy in life. You have to pay for that, and you have to pay the cost. As much as your dreams are above, as much as you have to do the hard work to achieve this.
You have to work for it. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hasan, for taking up the time to be here with us and sharing your life journey and your experiences. They have truly been something that I would reflect back on. They have truly been a learning experience for me, and I'm sure for everybody who's watching us, they must have taken something positive out of the entire situation. That was Candid with Future Connect, powered by Westpac.
Thank you very much. Before you go to your viewers and audience and the management and the Westpac Bank and the Future Connect giving me opportunity. I hope I have said whatever that you were expecting me to for your viewers to listen from my mouth. I have covered, because I never planned for this. There was no script on that. So I hope it all covered.
Absolutely.
And people will like this. It's a long time. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We wanted
Thanks
it to be
again.
very raw. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.